How is it going, guys? Drew Peacock here, back with another video, and I just got back from watching the latest installment in the Fast and the Furious franchise, Fast 9, and that movie was insultingly bad, in my own personal opinion. I wouldn't say it was horrible or unwatchable, but I just thought it was pretty damn bad, and I will be explaining why in a second. I haven't ever made a movie review before, so I don't know what I'm gonna have playing in the background. I'm just gonna be ranting about it. Don't take it too serious. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right in. Before we do, though, let me just warn you, there might be some spoilers, so if you really want to watch the movie and don't want any of it spoiled, then don't watch this. But let's go ahead and take a look at why I think it was so bad. First things first, I feel like the movie was written by a team of third graders high on crystal meth and pixie sticks. It was just ridiculous. Everything that happened in the movie, I feel like a third grader came up with it, because that's the amount of logic and brain power thought put into the plot. First things first, Dom has an evil brother, John Cena. I know, like already, that's not a spoiler. I guess they say it in the trailer or something. But yes, that is something just right off the bat where a fucking third grader would think of that. We need a bad guy for this movie. Who should it be? What if Dom had an evil brother who wanted to take over the world? Yep, that's pretty much what happens here. He has an evil brother who wants to get this one super weapon that'll control every computer, therefore every weapon on Earth, and for reasons unknown, wants to do it. I don't know why you would ever want to go that bad, but, no family dispute matters that much. One thing that I really hated about the movie was there was no risk. There was no, danger in the movie. They even joked about how immortal all of the characters are in the movie. They quoted them as invincible. That's just bad. When your movie 30 minutes in is telling you that every character is pretty much invincible, that's pretty bad. And they crack jokes at it in the movie, but then you're wondering, why am I watching this? If there's no fucking stakes at risk here, And they even prove that by, spoiler warning, Han is alive. So that death scene that Han died in Tokyo Drift that made the movie have that much more impact and everything like that, made it such a good movie, gone, torn out the window. Who cares? He's back. By how? By what power? They literally say by magic. They say he is back by quote-unquote magic. Now, it's not literal magic. They say it was a setup or something like that, but they literally are just dancing around the line saying it's magic. It is that bad. Again, written by third graders. It is horrible. If you are expecting a car movie or something similar to the earlier Fast and the Furious movies, this is by far not it. This movie is not a car movie. I would say 90% of the movie is an action spy movie, and then 10% of it is somewhat of a car movie, but it is not a car movie. It is, no. This and Too Fast, Too Furious, not even in the same universe, although they claim that they are. Shouldn't be in the same universe, though. If you looked at those two on two completely different timelines, it would make sense. Within the same timeline, doesn't make any fucking sense. This movie literally has just about as much car action as John Wick. If not less. I would say probably less. John Wick, the first one, all of the sick driving and everything like that, all the sick driving stunts, no, there's not that in this movie. It's pretty stupid. And the driving that is in the movie doesn't make any fucking sense. If you were to go on an off-road, expedition or something like that, an off-road quest, what car would you take? You would probably say, well, I wouldn't take a car. I would take a truck or an SUV or something like that. No, how about a Dodge Charger wide body? No, how about a Mustang GT? Those are the two cars that you're going to take. Yeah, on an off-road thing. They don't show them lifted or anything either. You're taking a fucking stock Dodge Charger and a stock Mustang GT. Obviously, they're not stock. They have, movie mods, but the logic there just doesn't make any fucking sense. The script itself was insulting, like I mentioned earlier. They're joking about invincibility, and then it's just they pretty much confirm it because Han's back. I already mentioned that, but I have it written down here. I took notes, okay? I wanted to really make sure that I can complain legitly. The stunts were literally out of this world. As in, they went to fucking space. You would never think in a Fast and the Furious movie that they would go to space. At least I wouldn't. I've only seen up to 4. And after watching this movie, I don't really want to go back and watch 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't. Maybe up to 7, but after that, I don't know. It might just go way too outlandish. Yeah, they went to space, okay? Spoiler alert, okay? They went to space in a Pontiac Fiero strapped to a rocket. Yeah, and somehow they survived. I don't know how. It's because they're invincible. It's just straight up. This is, I don't get how that has to do with anything Fast and the Furious. The movie was straight up made for people 12 years old or under. The acting wasn't bad, but the script was like super boring. The dialogue, not interesting at all. It just seemed like normal, just gibberish, some filler, nothing, no cool monologues, no nothing like that. Nothing that really stood out to me. No performances were like crazy either. I mean, obviously it's a Fast and the Furious movie. I wasn't expecting something, groundbreaking or some like Oscar nominee worthy, but it was okay at best. The young John Cena actor, he's in the Peaky Blinders. I don't know the actor's name. He did a pretty good job. He was pretty believable, but besides that, I don't know. I don't think that there was anyone that really stood out to me. Like, they could have made it so much cooler too when they found out that Han is alive and everything like that, and he reappears. Like, they could have made it so much more deep and, people crying and stuff like that. Nah, they just kind of smiling like, oh, hey, you're still alive? That's cool. Cardi B was in it for like 5 seconds. And she was as annoying as anyone would guess. Like, I'm just not a Cardi B fan. If you are a Cardi B fan, maybe you'll like her scene, but it's Cardi B. Like, nah. I'll pass on that. Talking about the Han thing, yeah, Han is magically alive. Magically, okay? They say they staged it. The best way to stay alive is to act dead, I guess. Don't know how that really works. Maybe I gotta watch the other Fast and the Furious movies. I know that, like, Shaw, or is it Hobbs, or the other one, Shaw, one of the dudes is the one that actually, like, quote-unquote killed him, so maybe they'll explain that. I just think there's a lot of plot holes in this movie that if it weren't written by a team of third graders, it might not be so bad. Like, there is an interesting side plot with early Dom and early Jacob, which is John Cena's character's name, and how they were like racing with their dad. Like, there is an interesting side plot there that would have been probably a really good like origin story movie for Dom, but it just seemed like they just kind of wrapped it up really quick. I would have actually been more interested to see that because the actors that played them and everything, they were pretty convincing. And it was literally more interesting than the whole rest of the movie. Now, the action isn't bad. If you like Michael Bay movies, you'll probably be a fan of this. The action wasn't bad. Explosions, fight scenes, cool stuff like that. All of the fight scenes felt pretty weightless, if I could describe them as that. The only one that felt cool or, felt powerful, Dom starts kicking the asses of like 50 people at once. And again, I'm not even joking. He literally goes and is like kicking the shit out of these people, beating their asses. And like you hear their bones breaking and shit, which is cool because he's a superhero, obviously. And he's got superhuman strength to single punch and just break people's backs on metal. It's pretty cool. It's the only fight scene where I was like, damn, like, okay, he's kicking ass. But everything else is just like, all right, I'm going to toss you around, and you're out. Stuff like that. Now let's talk about the cars. I am obviously a car channel. Let's talk about the cars. The cars were weak. Like, the car lineup, weak as hell. It's obviously very heavily influenced by Dodge because there's a lot of Dodges and Jeeps and stuff like that. Heavily influenced by them or sponsored by them. But the lineup was just bland. Like, they had obviously Dom's Charger, they had a new school Charger, they had a S550 Mustang, it looked like a Nova SS, and a new Supra. That's pretty much it. They had like other miscellaneous little cars here and there. There was an FRS in the movie. Luckily, there were no stance cars. But just everything seemed bland. Like, they didn't, like, put the razzle-dazzle that they put in the old Fast and the Furious movies with their mods. Now, do I want them to look riced out? No, I don't. But, like, they just looked bone stock, like, through and through. It didn't look interesting at all. Besides, obviously, the heavy-hitter cars like Dom's Charger. That one, obviously, is modded to fuck. But everything else, bland. Just absolutely bland. There was one supercar in the movie at one point that they were driving around in, and I don't even know what supercar it was. It was just like some no-name shit. Might have been something really cool. It could have been some sort of Koenigsegg or something cool like that, but it didn't even look that nice. Like, it looked, I don't know. My buddy was like, is that a GTR or a McLaren? Like, that's how basic it kind of looked. Like, you couldn't even tell. It wasn't anything that really, like, stood out. So yeah, if you're expecting some sort of cool cars, no, you're not gonna, okay? You might get a little tease at the end of a cool car, but it's literally for like 5 or 10 seconds, okay? Now let's talk about the last 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, okay? I don't want to spoil anything, but this is the best part of the movie. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers about the ending, then click off. The best part of the ending is it ended. I'm joking. No, the best part of the ending is like kind of the little reunion that they have, I guess, where they show Han coming back and seeing Sean. I realize that everyone's name in this movie is like Sean, Han, Shaw. Like, they all have weird names. But anyways, Han comes back and sees Sean, and, you would think it'd be a little bit more sentimental because he kind of got him into that and saved his life. But nah, it's just a little smile and a grin, and then they're just off to do their own thing. Who cares? There's no, like, crazy stories or anything like that. It's just like, all right, whatever. And then at the end, they fucking blue ball you and make you think that you're going to see, like, obviously it's not Paul Walker, RIP, but they make you think you're going to see Paul Walker because a blue R34 pulls up, and then no, they don't show anything. It would have been cool to at least get his brother, like in Fast 7, and do the face tracking or whatever they call it. That would have been cool. It could have been dope to see him climb out of the car and like smile and everything. Like, dude, that would have made the movie so much better in my opinion, but you just see his GTR pull up and then movie over. I think if they would have included something like that, I wouldn't have left like a super sour taste in my mouth, but like they just blue balled the shit out of you. And then they always like mention him too here and there, but it just like kind of plays off kind of weird because I don't know. It's like dramatic irony or something. I don't know how to word it without sounding like an asshole, but it's like, well, you're wording like Brian's going to come, but Brian's not going to come. Anyways, I mean, long story short, the pacing of the movie was bad. There were a few dead spots in the middle. The fight scenes were and like it was just outlandish. The stunts were ridiculous. Like I said earlier, went to space apparently. At one point, John Cena in his S550 Mustang drives off of a cliff, and a plane comes out of nowhere and magnetically picks up his car and flies off into the distance. If that doesn't sound like something pitched by a third grader or a 6-year-old, then I don't know what does. Here, I'm gonna picture this is how the board meeting went. Fuck, so we gotta make this movie interesting. How are people gonna keep watching these things, man? We gotta just keep upping the ante. Okay, so what if John Cena in the Ford Mustang is driving and he's getting away, but oh no, there's a cliff coming and the cliff is coming up quick and Dom's wondering what's he gonna do. John Cena then drives over the cliff and surprises everyone. They're like, what's gonna happen? Are rockets gonna come out? No, you might think rockets are gonna come out of the exhaust tips, but no, he's already wasted all of his nitrous, so that's not what's gonna happen. What actually happens is his buddy comes in a plane, and it was all planned from the get-go. His evansville was on the cliff, and the plane comes and swoops him up, and they fly off to safety. And Dom is there left scratching and jerking off his dick because he doesn't know what he's gonna do. Well, what happens to Dom? How does Dom pursue the chase? What does he do next? Well, actually, what I thought would be cool is if we do some sort of like Tarzan swing with a car. Huh? Well, hear me out. So what Dom's gonna do is he's gonna use this braided cable and strap it onto his wheel and swing across the fucking canyon like Tarzan. So Dom's gonna get out of his car and hook up a braided cable to it, or is he gonna like shoot a grapple hook or what? No, the cable's just there and he drives into it and it magically hooks on. You're hired. I love this. This is the best action scene ever. That's literally what happens. Dom drives up to this broken bridge. A metal cable that's left over there magically hooks onto his wheel, and he swings to safety in the car. I know. And that's within the first 10 or 15 minutes. That lets you know exactly what kind of movie that's going to be. A bad one. Anyways, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. It was a little rant on the movie. I still have to watch Fast and the Furious 5 through 7 or 8, whatever they're at now. I haven't seen them. Maybe that's why this movie wasn't that great in my opinion, but it just didn't feel like a car movie, honestly. Everyone in the theater, too, was just like laughing unironically at how stupid it was, it seemed. So I don't think I'm an outlier in thinking that this movie was pretty ridiculous. Now, maybe that's why they made it. Maybe they're just doing it for fun, but like, fuck, man, it was pretty insulting. Anyways, let me know if you've seen the movie and if you liked it. Comment down below which was your favorite scene in the movie if you have. And until next video, peace.